Hi friends, I'm really excited and privileged to have as my first on-site collaboration the remarkable AJ Klien here. You might know AJ Klien from his amazing art he's posted on, well, help me out here.
Facebook mostly.
Facebook, so Painters Helping Painters.
Yep. Trapped Under Plastic.
Trapped Under Plastic.
The SF Bay Area Miniature Painters
Sure.
Group.
And you might have caught my interview with AJ when we were promoting KublaCon, our local game convention. Well, today we're here. AJ's going to practice his class on light and shadow.
Yeah, light and shadow.
Which, you know, even though I'm a beginning miniatures painter and we haven't covered this topic yet, anyone who's going to be enriching their skills in painting miniatures is at some point going to have to study light and shadow. And I'm a little nervous. I'm a little excited. Wish me luck. We're gonna see how AJ here is going to teach us old dog some new tricks. You ready, AJ?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Hi, friends. AJ is going to talk to us a little bit now about color theory.
Yeah, we're going to talk about color theory, picking the right oil paint for your model, and why some brands are maybe better or different than others.
Awesome. So even though most of us are beginning painters, at some point we're going to have to stretch ourselves and understand a little bit more about the paints and how we use them to mess with our lights and shadow. Take it away, AJ.
Yep. So just like any other project, we have tools. And in this case, our oil paints are going to be our tools. Different oil paints, different colors for different things. We can use everything from your basic Winsor and Newton style paint that you can get at Michael's. We also have the full range of the Abteilung 502, which has quite a few different colors to choose from, especially if you like historical models. These are great. Scale 75, which are a very matte paint. And they're fairly new from scale 75. They've only got 24 colors, so these are all 24. But again, very high pigment concentration. You're going to be able to get a lot of nice bright gem tone colors. And then we won't be using them today, but there's also from AK their True Metal line, which is a great way to do metallics because it's actually a rub and buff paint. So you can go ahead and put it on the same way that we're going to do all our other oil paints, let it dry for about 4 to 5 hours, and then actually take a Q-tip and rub it, and you'll get a really high polish on sword edges or armor plates, things like that. Really good for that kind of stuff.
That's going to be a topic for a future video, my friend, for sure.
Yeah, not a problem. So when we're looking at our figure, we're definitely going to want to pick out some blues. We're going to pick out some skin tones, and we're going to pick out some browns and reds for the rocks.
After picking our oil paints and a whole bunch of acrylic paints to start the undercoats, we then proceeded to set up. The crash course on color theory I got from AJ was basically picking colors in a progression from dark to white. It's always easier to make your models darker, so notice that we don't have a black. After dispensing the paint, wipe the nozzles on a cloth to make a swatch. You can think of this as a little ladder or roadmap in case you have to go backwards to make corrections. After priming in zenithal, we then shot from underneath with magenta to start the skin tones. It's okay if you make a streak or two here and there, it'll get covered up in later steps. The idea is basically to make most of the zenithal that is dark into magenta. And being able to look at AJ's model while I worked was astounding. Okay, friends, we just completed our first segment of our collaboration, and I'm really excited. I am so happy that AJ is working with me today, because being able to look at his work while he's using the airbrush, and for me to just copy that, looking exactly at his work right next to mine, is fantastic. This is such a fast way to learn. I can't even express how happy and excited I am right now. How do you think we're doing so far, AJ?
I think we're doing great. We're putting a lot of base layers down in our underpainting, concentrating on where the shadows are going. So we have a majority of our figure in shadow on this side, but then as we switch to the image on this side, she's much more in light, and that's what we're going to focus on and keep building these lights and building these shadows.
Yeah, and I'm having a lot of fun because this process is pretty easy, and if you screw up, there's things you can do to make corrections. So it's pretty relaxing, and I'm not feeling like I'm under a lot of pressure or stress. So Let's continue, buddy. I'm having a great time. So AJ had these little Lazy Susan turntable things, and I was able to rotate both models, the reference and the one I was working on, while I was working on it. It was a fantastic way to learn, and I was really able to do well at keeping pace with his reference model. Once we built up the magenta really strong, we then switched to base coats for the ocean area, and we just picked out a progression of watercolors from dark to light, eventually white. Again, after dispensing the paint, clean the nozzles on the cloth to make a swatch. We then started airbrushing the ocean areas, concentrating darker colors in the recesses and lighter colors on the highlights. It was a really cool and fun process. Got to be careful here, though. You don't want too much blue overspray on the nice flesh tone that you built. Well, here we are, friends. We're at our second to the last video break during this project, and I've been having a lot of fun. AJ's been teaching me so much about blending and how the light and shadow affects what colors of paint we're going to be applying. And as you can see from the photos, I'm working on it. I mean, it's getting close to where AJ's wanted me to go. So I'm pretty pleased with that. How do you think we're doing so far, AJ?
I think we're doing great. We've certainly come a long way from doing our airbrushing as our underpainting with acrylics.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, we use that as an outline to start laying down our oil paints.
Mm-hmm.
And we started to add in some of our light source, so you can see some of our brighter lights coming from out here. And we're going to keep some more of those strong shadows coming from the bottom. And then we just work it back and forth until we're happy with it.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun. Oil paints is definitely a whole nother headspace. It's very relaxing. I mean, you've got time, and I've made a few little mistakes here and there. A little bit of white spirit, boom, vacuum it right up. So, it's not for everybody, but you should at least take a look at what people are doing with oil paints, because it's pretty popular, and it's probably getting more popular.
I think it's getting more popular. Yeah.
Cool. So let's see how far we can push these, and then we'll give us a wrap up.
Yep.
Well, we're wrapping up our session now, friends, and I had a fantastically fun time here with AJ. He showed me so much, and I'm so pleased with the results that we got in this one session. Of course, a complex model like this, there's no way we could finish it in one session, but we did so much of the groundwork. We did so much of the base color of the flesh tone. I've got a really nice looking flesh tone here. I'm showing all kinds of evidence of lights and shadow in play. And when he coached me on how to paint the water that's surrounding the model, it looks really nice. There's no way I could have figured this out by myself. Taking classes is the way. Wouldn't you agree, AJ?
Yeah, definitely taking classes is the way to go. There's a lot of depth in a lot of the miniature art community. So even the best of us take classes. I still take classes all the time. I do one at least once a month with my professional teacher that I have. So at no point is anybody too good for classes. I think that's something to really keep in mind. And learning a new skill is just another tool in our toolbox, and that's what it's about.
Awesome. Well, that was a ton of fun, AJ, and I look forward to collaborating with you in the future.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
Hi, everybody. I'm AJ Klien, and I'm here with Mark on his painting journey, and I encourage everybody to like and subscribe and follow him grow as he goes on his journey. Come along with us. It's fun.
Thanks so much.